This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Wednesday, June the 27th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Top in the news at this hour. 2 Barbadian murder convicts will know their final fate today. This country's final court of appeal, the Trinidad-based Caribbean Court of Justice, will hand down its judgment in this consolidation of death penalty appeals from Barbados. Jabari Sensimania Nerve and Dwayne Omar Severin were convicted of murder in separate cases and sentenced to death. They are appealing against their convictions for murder, and the central issue uniting both appeals is that of the constitutionality of the mandatory sentence of death. Severin, formerly of Crane St. Philip, was found guilty of killing Virgil Barton on November the 30th, 2009, near his home at Lucas Street in the same parish. In February 2012, a 12-member jury found Nerve, formerly of 3rd Avenue, Cisnet Road, Bannister Land, St. Michael, guilty of murdering Jason Ricardo Burton on November the 17th, 2006. Burton lived at Perseverance Drive, Jackson, St. Michael. Both convicts were sentenced to hang. Niqa will hit the stage first in the 2018 Sweet Soca semi-final at Kensington Oval on Friday, July the 6th from 10 p.m. She was among 16 semi-finalists who pulled for the draw at the National Cultural Foundation last evening. Damien Marvey will close off performances in that competition. In the party Monarch, for which another 16 competitors also drew for places, Mr. Dale will open that contest, while Be More Specific, yes, that's a name, Be More Specific, will close it. In other news now, government may go back to the drawing board to tackle the problem of potholes across the island. Minister of Transport, Works and Maintenance, Dr. William Duguid, told Parliament yesterday he's concerned about the manner in which these holes are patched.
The importance in how a pothole is filled is the preparation of the hole. And I take the point that sometimes in their need to get as many of the holes filled as quickly as possible, they may not be paying as close attention as they can or they should to the preparation of the hole in advance of filling. And I will take it under advisement, and if we have to get our technical people to go through and retrain the people with the pothole and who are charged with filling the potholes, we will take that under advisement and get our technical people to work on it.
Minister Duguid also assured motorists whose vehicles are being damaged by potholes and broken culverts that their requests for compensation will expeditiously be addressed.
It has to go through the legal unit. We have a legal unit within the department, and again, once we get the information of damaged vehicles and where the vehicles was damaged, it goes directly to the legal unit, and the legal unit will be working on addressing the problems of damaged vehicles. We know many people have damaged their vehicles, not only with potholes, but also with broken culverts, bridges, all sorts of things have happened to people's vehicles. And we have, again, a process. It has to be assessed. It isn't every single damage to a vehicle that was caused by a problem in the road. It could have been other issues or mitigating factors, and we have to assess all of that. And people are sent out to do assessments with respect to damage that was done to vehicles.
An opposition leader, Bishop Joseph Atherley, warned the minister to resist any temptation to politicize the repairing of roads in the island, as being suggested that was done by the former administration.
I notice my honorable colleague, though, did suggest that those roads identified in the schedule were perhaps chosen against the backdrop of a particular political motivation, and that the administration of the day identified those particular roads to gain advantage with reference to a certain part of the political geography of Barbados. I take it at face value, the assurance that he has given to us in this House, that under his watch, this type of thing is not going to happen.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We're back with news from the region now. Tobago may end up borrowing money from financial institutions to fund some projects even after presenting a $4.7 billion budget to the Tobago House of Assembly on Monday. The revelation from Secretary of Finance and the Economy, Joel Jack.
THA Finance Secretary Joel Jack says that the challenge for Tobago has always been funding developmental programs. He made reference to last year's budget when the THA asked for close to $1 billion but only got $320 million. This, Mr. Jack says, was insufficient to fund projects.
When we track the number since 2001 to date, it's between 15 and 20% of what we ask for annually. So that has really constrained us from accelerating a number of important development programs on the island.
Predicting the THA will only receive a 15% of the $4.7 billion they budgeted for, he noted they have a backup plan.
In this year's budget, it might be the year of another first. It might be the first time that Tobago would be allowed to borrow to fund some of our capital development projects.
And on the global front, the world's giant oil companies are warning that President Donald Trump's aggressive tariffs on trade could destabilize the global economy.
Speaking at a conference in Washington, CEOs from the world's largest energy companies, Exxon and Chevron, sounded the alarm on Trump's new tariffs, saying that a prolonged conflict with America's top trading partners could destabilize the global economy and put their companies at risk. Reuters' Ernie Scheider was at the conference.
The concern is that it could spark a trade war around the world that would cut demand for United States natural gas. The United States is the world's largest producer of natural gas and increasingly exports it to places like China and the European Union. Mike Wirth, the CEO of Chevron, and Darren Woods, the CEO of Exxon, told the World Gas Conference this week in Washington, D.C. that they fear that demand for the United States-produced natural gas could actually decrease if a trade war escalates.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.